you know that over 3,000 Canadians and a staggering 40,000 Americans are diagnosed with cancer each week? It's heartbreaking, not just for those facing the illness, but also for their loved ones.
I love you so much.
And we need to find a cure for cancer, because this is just gonna keep happening.
The journey ahead can be a tough one for everyone around. Cancer really sucks. So what causes cancer? And can what you put in your body really affect your chances of getting it? Well, first of all, cancer is a really complicated topic, and there's so much that's still unknown. However, when it comes to whether or not food can be linked to cancer, absolutely. Current research has proven that some foods are linked to a higher risk of cancer. Of course, genetics and other lifestyle choices are important too, but what we eat has a direct correlation to the risks of getting this nasty disease. Certain foods have known harmful chemicals or compounds that may lead to higher chances of getting cancer. It's so important to know which foods might be cancer-causing and to make smart dietary choices to lower your risk. Cancer can strike even the healthiest among us, but that doesn't mean we should ignore our lifestyle choices and eat whatever we want. A nutrient-rich, healthy diet not only boosts your overall health, but it may also reduce the chances of developing certain diseases, to include cancer. The good news is that your diet, is 100% controllable. You just need a little bit of discipline about what you put on your dinner plate. Now, let's look at some foods known to be cancer-causing and why it's best to keep them out. Number 1. Farm-raised fish. Farm-raised fish are easy to find and a heck of a lot cheaper, but they come with a few trade-offs compared to their wild cousins. One big issue is the presence of contaminants and chemicals in their diet and environment, which can be health risks to us. These fish are often fed an unnatural diet, packed with corn or grain-based feed, which is quite different from what they eat in the wild. And this difference in diet can mess with the nutritional value of fish, especially in terms of omega-3 fatty acids, which are pretty crucial for our health. I mean, what we eat can change the way we are as humans. Why would it be any different for fish? Am I right? In the world of aquaculture, lots of chemicals are used to keep the fish healthy and the operations running smoothly. Pesticides, for example, are commonly used to control sea lice in the crowded conditions of fish farms. While these pesticides are necessary to prevent parasites, they can also end up in the fish we eat. That's pretty scary if you think about it. Also, depending on the farming practices and the water source, farm-raised fish might be exposed to contaminants like heavy metals, PCBs, which are polychlorinated biphenyls, and other pollutants. These nasty substances can build up in the fish's flesh over time. The potential cancer risk associated with farm-raised fish mainly comes from these contaminants and chemicals. High levels of certain substances, like PCBs and dioxins, have been linked to an increased cancer risk if consumed in large amounts over long periods due to their toxic and carcinogenic properties. So while farm-raised fish might be more convenient and budget-friendly, it's important to be aware of these potential health concerns. Opting for wild-caught fish when possible, or choosing farm-raised options from reputable sources with good farming practices can help reduce these risks. Number 2. Smoked foods. Smoked foods, especially smoked meats, are super popular for the unique and irresistible flavors, but there's a smoky secret lurking behind that delicious taste: the use of nitrates and nitrites. These additives act as preservatives, keeping harmful bacteria out and extending the shelf life of your favorite smoked treats. Well, that sounds like a good deal, right? Well, there's a catch. When meats are smoked or cooked at high temperatures, these nitrates and nitrites can transform into N-nitroso compounds, including nitrosamines and nitroamides. These compounds are not just a mouthful to say, they're also carcinogenic, meaning they have the potential to cause cancer. Some studies have shown a link between eating foods with N-nitroso compounds and an increased risk of various cancers, particularly stomach and colorectal cancer. These nasty compounds can mess with your cells and DNA, leading to the development of cancerous cells. But that's not it. Eating too much smoked food can also throw your gut bacteria, or microbiome, out of whack, leading to stomach infections. And let's not forget the sodium. Smoked foods are often loaded with salt, which can contribute to high blood pressure, increasing the risk of stroke and diabetes if eaten in excess. So what's a smoked food lover to do? Well, consider switching up your flavor game with different seasonings or marinades. This way you can still enjoy delicious meals without the cancer-causing side effects of N-nitroso compounds. Making these small changes can lead to healthier and more enjoyable eating habits. Number 3. Fried foods. This one's not really surprising. Fried foods like french fries, fried chicken, donuts are undeniably delicious, but they come with some serious health risks. When foods are deep fried at high temperatures, they produce harmful compounds, particularly acrylamide. Research has shown that acrylamide is linked to a higher risk of several types of cancer, including ovarian, kidney, and pancreatic cancer. Fried foods are also packed with unhealthy fats and excess calories, which can contribute to obesity and other health problems that further increase cancer risk. And just a side note, did you know that over 2/3 of Americans are overweight? Not just obese, overweight. What the heck is going on? Maybe we should make a video on side effects and the risks of being overweight. What do you think? Anyways, let's get back to it. So what's the healthier choice to these decadent fried foods? Well, for starters, cutting back on fried foods is just a good start. But choosing cooking methods like baking, grilling, sauteing, that can make a world of difference. These alternatives not only help you avoid harmful compounds, but also support better gut microbiome and your health. Number 4, popcorn. This is a surprising one because I love popcorn. It's a classic snack, especially during movie nights, but when it comes to microwave popcorn, you might want to think twice. The problem isn't the popcorn itself, but the packaging. Microwave popcorn bags are often lined with chemicals like, bear with me, perfluoroalkyls and perfluorooctanoic acid, or PFOA. These chemicals prevent oil from soaking through the packaging during microwaving, but they can also leach into your popcorn. Studies have shown that PFOA is linked to tumor development in animals, which raises concerns about its potential impact on human health. Yes, we know that animal studies don't always predict human outcomes, but they do suggest we could be cautious about consuming microwave popcorn regularly. The risks aren't even just for consumers. People working in industries related to PFOA production are also at risk, with prolonged exposure also being linked to increased prostate cancer risk. Given these concerns, it might be wise to choose some other snacks for your movie nights. Pretzels, maybe? Number 5. Processed foods. Yeah, they're everywhere. Wherever you look in the grocery store, processed foods are absolutely plastered all over the shelves and aisles. But did you know that they come with a boatload of health risks? For starters, they often contain nitrates and nitrites, see above at smoked foods, which are linked to an increased risk of stomach cancer and serious inflammation. Processed foods also tend to be packed with refined white flour. This flour goes through a refining process that strips away nutrients and leaves behind harmful chemicals. Also, these foods are loaded with unhealthy fats, contributing to the obesity epidemic, and we touched on that earlier in the video. High sugar content is another hallmark of processed foods, giving you empty calories with little nutritional value. What's even crazier is that they're designed to be addictive. Food manufacturers invest heavily in making sure their products hit the pleasure centers of our brains, leading us to overeat. And this overeating can cause weight gain and a ton of health issues associated with obesity. We've all tried to pronounce the ingredients on the back of labels, right? Well, if you actually knew what those weird sounding words were, you'd know that is basically a laundry list of chemicals, preservatives, colorants, flavor enhancers, and texturizers. Now that sounds yummy, right? So, while processed foods are convenient and often tasty, they carry significant health risks. Let's try to cut back on processed foods and opt for a whole, healthy food instead. Number 6. Hydrogenated oils. Hydrogenated oils, better known to us as trans fats, are a major concern when it comes to cancer risk. These fats are created through a process that solidifies liquid oils, making them useful for enhancing the texture and the shelf life of processed foods. Unfortunately, this process also produces trans fats, which can lead to serious health issues. One of the biggest problems with trans fats is that they promote chronic inflammation in the body, and this ongoing inflammation can create an environment where healthy cells turn cancerous. If you haven't seen our video on inflammation yet, we'll have it linked in the description below. Okay, so trans fats are known to raise levels of LDL cholesterol, the so-called bad cholesterol. High LDL levels are linked to an increased risk of cancers like breast and colorectal cancer because they cause oxidative stress and cellular damage. Also, eating trans fats can contribute to insulin resistance, making your body less sensitive to insulin, and high insulin levels, resulting from insulin resistance, are associated with uncontrolled cancer cell growth. This metabolic disruption, along with the integration of trans fats into cell membranes, can mess with cell signaling and communication, potentially leading to unchecked cell growths that's seen in cancer. Now, that's some pretty scary stuff. But in a world teeming with highly processed foods, budget-friendly but unhealthy options, chemicals, and additives, it's important that we all have a decent understanding of what we put into our bodies. Sure, the occasional donut or the once-in-a-while fried chicken, it won't cause you much harm. But it's important to know that if you overdo these types of foods, it can, and we mean can, cause increased risk of cancer. Let's be smart, and let's make healthier choices. Your future self will definitely thank you. Thanks for watching. Remember, with a dash of effort and a pinch of self-care, you'll be rocking that youthful glow for years to come. If you've enjoyed this video, subscribe to our channel where we uncover more Revitalixer recipes.